when the women leave, it of course leave more favor towards the woman. The men could lose their homes, they could lose their business, depending on if a woman make false accusations. They lose jobs and livelihoods just off accusations that possibly may not even be true. The child support system is all screwed up. So that's a thing. You got alimony, which both parties get paid, but let's just be real. Most of the time, the man paying alimony. So yeah, you do got a lot to lose. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki Green. I'm just another brown girl in America. And today we're going to get right to it because I got something that is so intense and I could not believe the headlines when I saw it. So I got a video from Myron Gaines. It's a little older video, some months old. It's not a brand new video, but just the context of this battle between men versus women, and are men getting too much slack for something that possibly are women's fault? Do women deserve anything? That's the title of this video. So what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and get started with this video because we got this debate. Well, they tried to debate. And so it's Myron Gaines and women deserve less. Women deserve less. Proven wrong. He was at the University of Southern Carolina. So we are going to go ahead and get to it. And let's holler at Myron. And then we're going to talk about this and let me know what you guys think. I have not watched all of it. I skipped through some of the parts, but I'm like, okay, this is getting interesting. So let's see.
More or less.
Are you a man or a woman?
I'm asking you. Do I deserve more or less?
Well, probably less.
Even now, when my voice is lower than yours.
Even less now. Do you know how to make a sandwich?
Yeah, I do. Want me to teach you?
No, thank you. That's a woman's job.
I really think your ideology is interesting. How do I apply it to my lesbian relationships?
Oh, man, they're trying to shut us down, man. Shut it down. Not fucking leave it! Anyone that wants to walk on up and have a question or want to push back, or maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. But yeah, I'm here to have some open conversation about feminism or any other topic for that matter that deals with, cultural stuff. Oh, we have a... What's up, man? How are you? I guess I could come into that after.
It's my work.
What's up, bro?
We are going to hop over.
I've seen some of your podcasts and stuff like that. I haven't watched the full thing.
Let's walk over to victim 5.
Yeah, I'm not
That
saying
creature.
hello to you, so let's just skip the pleasantries.
Sure.
So why are
Yeah, I was gonna say, can someone help her?
Thanks for coming up. I appreciate it.
So are your views on women based on data or personal rejection?
Here we go. The whole you're an incel thing. Okay.
Because on a podcast about 2 months ago, didn't you just say you got your first girlfriend and you're like 30?
Wow, she really thinks that's a known. Number one, I've had a girlfriend now for a few years, not 2 months. And it's an open relationship. I do what I want, and she's closed on her end.
That's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, look at all the people here going crazy. So here's the reality, right? So let me give you guys a biological reality here.
What does this have to do with my question?
Women,
I'm asking if your views come from data or rejection, because someone had to hurt you for the way you feel about women.
Oh, so I have to be hurt to be able to establish and tell the truth.
Well, yes.
That's interesting.
Sort of, kind of. Was it your mom?
No, actually, you know what's funny? It was my mom that warned me about these hoes. Yeah. It was actually my mom.
So you and your...
So that's why do women do that? When men try to tell us something, we already have a preconceived, you already know, you can see she's hostile. But was it your mother and they think it's cute. It's not cute and it's not a own. So I'm with him, like, I'm a mom. And I tell my sons, hey,
Your mom are birds.
Me and my mom are birds?
Yeah, bird brains.
All right, interesting. Do you actually have an argument, or do you just want to make ad hominems?
No, I'm just asking questions. You have yet to answer my question.
Well, it
Is
sounded more like a
based on-
statement since we're both birds, right?
Well, are your views based on data or personal rejection?
Yeah, they're based on data, obviously experience, anecdotal, talking with almost 4,000 women out at this point. So, and I think every guy here, right, though they might not admit it, would love to have a setup where they have a girlfriend that loves and admires them and respects them, obeys them, and he could go ahead and get other women and she's close on her end. And this is what I was trying to say. Once you reach a certain level of status and you have your stuff together, you'd be amazed at what women will tolerate when you're that guy. So I want every guy to be at a point where if you want to be monogamous to your woman, you can, but if you also want to have other women, you can. And that's what I think keeps you attractive, because women only get in line when you have other women in line. Now, I know that. What was that?
He said you're not welcome on campus, prick.
Oh, look at this guy. Nice jorts. Nice jorts.
Hey, I have another question. Do you know who invented Wi-Fi? Like the technology for Wi-Fi?
Let me guess. A woman?
Well, yeah. So if it wasn't for a woman, your podcast, you wouldn't have one, and it wouldn't have gotten demonetized.
Oh, good one. Yeah. So here's the thing. We do a direct connect on our pod. So
I don't care.
Wi-Fi is. Oh, now it's I don't care. Okay, great.
Hello, sir.
Make sure to hit the gym as well.
Sir. Hey,
Hey, just being honest, man.
sir.
Yeah, look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Sir,
Hey,
you're here to
the
have
girls
a
aren't gonna fuck you,
conversation.
man.
I'm trying to have one with you.
Like the girls aren't gonna fuck you, bro. White knighting is not gonna do it.
Okay, hi. Would you like to have an actual conversation?
This is fucking awesome.
Why are these women so aggressive? They cannot handle when a man is being stern, I would say, upfront. But you can still be upfront, but not as stern as Myron. Myron, he is stern. I'm going to use that word, stern. But he's just a man. He's confident. And if that's how his life roll, that's how he roll. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But my thing is, we coming up here, the problem with women is we never try to get perspective. We never try to see men, anybody for that matter, but especially men, we never try to see them for who and what they really are. And that could be good or bad, because it seems like we don't see men for who they really are when they're horrible, because we still continue to date them and pick them over the men who are not horrible. So I don't know, like, we're weird.
All right, what were you gonna say? Go ahead.
All right, here. I'm here to have an actual like debate with you, okay? I'm not
Sure.
here to antagonize you or villainize you. I want to understand you, and I hope maybe you'd want to understand me. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Sure.
so what I want to understand is your viewpoint that women deserve less, or that you think men deserve more?
Well, two things can be true, right?
Okay.
So I think guys need to be in a position where they are the dominant and the leader in the relationship.
So I would like to understand why exactly do you think that? Is it what is causing this? Is it like an instinctual thing? Do you think it's based off biology, psychology?
What in
religion,
particular?
belief? Like the idea that the man should be dominant. What is the backing thought process for this?
Well, it's how society has thrived for centuries. The man is the head of the household. He's the leader. He protects and provisions. And this is how we've been able to build up the society we enjoy now. And it's only with modernity and feminism that women have been able to kind of do the things that they do. But at the end of the day, I would argue most women want a traditional man who's going to be a provider, going to be a protector, and adhere to these traditional masculine traits.
Okay, so let me ask you a question about this, sir, if you don't mind. So
Sure.
Would you say that over time, generally speaking, with how society has come, how culture has come, to where we are at this current point, are you content with how the world is today? With society, are you happy with how society has turned out? What exactly, do you have any issues with modern society?
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's pluses and negatives, but I do think that modernity has led to the overall degradation of society. It's because we don't prioritize the family anymore.
So is the issue less that women deserve less, or that we should put more of a focus on traditionalism within the family?
Well, that's kind of the same thing from before. Again, men need to be in a different position now where they need to be able to vet out women properly for them to be their wives. Because the thing that sucks for guys now is that most women want to be married, but they're not necessarily wife material. Everyone wants to get married, but no one wants to be a wife is basically what I mean. So I think we're a lesbian. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, anyway, so yeah, that's what I think it is. Guys need to really focus on the family, but before they can even do that, they need to be able to go in.
So I agree with that. You definitely need to, and I always say, be what you want. So if you want to be a wife and you know you're wanting to be a wife, you need to be a wife. Don't say, well, I'm going to chill out when I get a man. You're not going to get the man, because like Myron is saying, there should be vetting. And a lot of times why women are having issues with the dating is because men are vetting better now. And a lot of men are just not approaching women. And a lot of women don't even understand or see how men experience us from the outside looking in. So I will also say that as far as the vetting and vetting for your woman, I will say both parties have issues with vetting and dating. I think most people just end up together. I don't think people strategically, and I know you want to be in love and love the person and all that good stuff, but I'm to get into the belief now, I'm not thinking that's the most important thing. Yes, you love your mate, you're gonna love, but it's a different type of love. But there's also a partnership. Well, no, see, I don't know. But what I do know is that women try to change men. We don't listen. So that never works, because we always, even when men try to talk to us, we're trying to tell them what they're experiencing, or no, they're not experiencing that, or tell them to experience a whole nother different thing. I also think Myron is right when he says a lot of women don't want to be a wife, but you'll have women out here and they'll expect the man to be able to pay for stuff, pay for the car, the bills, do all the man traditional stuff, but they don't want to be a traditional woman. So make sense. It doesn't make sense. Correct. So I don't know. All I know is that it's all messed up out here, ladies. And I think it's time to get it together.
With their eyes wide open with how society is and how we're playing the dating game, because we have more to lose.
Okay, so I understand where you're coming from.
Sure.
I think it makes sense that you would like to have, women would be able to be mothers, never be able to be wives. If a man is being a provider, clearly you would want something in return, right? I mean,
yeah, to obey me.
Oh, if you want people to hear you out, I don't really think obey would be the best word to use. I mean, obey kind of implies that there's a lack of free will and thought. Would you think?
Interesting. So you say there's a lack of free will there, but is there, I mean,
with the term obey, like the connotation that it provides when you say the word obey.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I find it interesting that on my end, I'm protecting and providing. And the one thing I ask in return is for her to obey, but that's a problem. See, that's
I didn't say it was a problem.
Because here's the thing. Let's be honest here, right? So this is what I mean when I say modern feminism poisons women. Women want a guy who's going to be a protector and a provider and a good man. But if he asks, hey, I need you to obey me in return, she'll say, I don't like that word. Why do I need to obey you? Well, you need to obey me because I'm the one that's responsible for you. So if I'm responsible for you, that means I'm supposed to have authority over you as well.
Well, if you would like to have a conversation without putting words in my mouth where I said that I had a problem with the term obeying people, I just said that if you want other people to agree with you, maybe find a different term that would kind of incline people to agree. Secondly,
well, that's the problem. People are too soft. That's the truth.
I was going to say, why do certain words trick us? I guess he said obey, and you could see her whole face, her whole body language just change. Oh, submissive. That's a triggering word for women. But these are same women that love God and they go to church and they read the Bible. So I don't understand how that particular word would be triggering. They also confuse leadership for dominance, but I think some men do that too now. People don't understand what leadership actually looks like. Yes, it is dominance, but it's not what's the word I'm looking for? Abusive, for lack of better, like it could be verbally, mentally, physically. That's not dominance, no physical dominance or anything like that, unless But other than that, yes, you want a leader, but we also have to understand that we just can't be like, I want somebody to find me. We was having a conversation the other day, and the guy made a point. And the point was because she was saying that basically that man has to bring that soft energy out of me. He don't bring that out of me, then where it's supposed to come from. And he basically said that sounds stupid. So I'm like, oh, he's like, how does it sound when you don't want no soft dude or no like feminine acting guy? So what if I came up to you all feminine or whatever, and then I say, I need you to bring out my masculine energy? It sound dumb. So we just got to stop saying stuff like that and letting words trigger us. We better than that.
We need women to obey us.
Says the guy who's here complaining about women?
No, I said women need to obey men. I'm saying the problem is that we have this society where people just don't want to be honest and say what it is.
But I'm being honest and telling you that people don't like the word obey.
Okay. Oh, well.
Okay.
Like,
oh, well.
I find it interesting, right? So a lot of people think I just talk smack to women all the time, but I actually talk more smack. Anyone that watches the show, I actually talk more smack to men. I tell them to not be fat, not to be losers, not to be dorks. Like, I bully the guys so that they become better. Men kind of accept this. But when we say we want something in return, women don't want to follow it. So it's like women have one job and they don't even want to do that.
Well, have you considered that maybe women don't want your help?
Well, here's the thing. I'm here to help the guys out because they're the leaders. So,
well, that's fine. But
I'm very familiar with the fact that like women, like if they hear a certain word, they get triggered and they can't listen to anything else. But again, that's an inherent flaw in women because they're so emotional. But the reality is, like, as a woman, if you're in a relationship with a guy and he's doing what he's supposed to do, protect and provide for you, you need to obey him.
So wait, okay. You have a problem with women being overly emotional, yet you want them to be providers to children. That implies that there needs to be some type of emotional nurture there. So is the problem that women are too emotional or that they're not emotional enough?
No, what I'm talking about is in this context where the term obey immediately triggered you.
I'm not triggered.
Okay.
Do I look angry?
No. Well, you didn't like that term. You're like, hey, well, maybe you could use a different word. It's like, no, that's what it is. Obey.
I didn't say that. I was bothered by the word. I was just trying to give you some advice that maybe other people would be more inclined to listen if you didn't come off so authoritative.
Well, I think that's important where we're at a crazy point right now where we just got to start being honest and not tone police and worry about certain phrases triggering people. The truth hurts a lot of the times, but this is what we need to do. We've gone so far left that we're going to need a significant overcorrection. And sometimes that means using words that people might find offensive.
Okay. So, all right. I understand what you're saying, that we shouldn't, be so protective, right?
Yeah. And the other thing, too, with men,
but you want to protect women, so you don't want them to be protective.
No, what I'm saying is that with men, right, when I say the term obey, guys just get it. They don't get offended by this is actually a phenomenon I've noticed only with women. Like when I tell guys stuff and I speak very direct, they don't care. They just consume the information. Okay, that makes sense, and move on. They're not really too concerned with how it's said or the terms that are used. But with women, a lot of the times, if I don't use certain terms or speak in a certain tone, they get offended and can't take in the information. And I think if women were a bit more receptive to the direct nature of the things I say, they'd be a lot better off because I'm very honest about it.
It sounds like men tend to obey you more than women.
Well, I mean, if they listen to what I say, they'll probably do pretty well in life. Yeah.
If you want someone to obey you, why don't you just go with guys?
That's a good one.
I'm just a genuine question. Why do you care so much about women if like the men are listening to you just as is? You're trying to do a thing for the men, right? Do them a favor, help them out. Women aren't asking you for any help.
Yeah, no, I know that. That's why I focus on the guys because they're not emotionally.
Then why
triggered.
are you here talking about women?
Because that is a big obstacle that a lot of guys can't fix. They can't. Basically,
then why are you trying to fix it?
Because if we don't have women, we don't have the nuclear family, and a lot of guys struggle with this. Now, here's the thing. I understand that you might be in a privileged position where dating and getting men to court you isn't that hard, but for average guys, it's not that easy. So
Well,
a lot
I
of
don't
guys
need
need to
anyone
learn
to
this
court
stuff.
me. I'm not looking for that. There's more to my life than worrying about what the other sex does.
Okay, well, you have that privilege since you're a woman and the men come to you. But
They
men
don't
need to
come
figure
to
this
me.
stuff out.
I came to you to talk to you.
Again,
Did you come to me? I don't think
no,
so.
no, but this is us having a discussion here. What I'm saying is that, like, you're maybe
What?
like a 3 or 4. So, like, you're going to have
Okay.
more market pull, right, than a guy that's like a 7 or an 8. You're going to have more options than an average guy. So for you, right, you're getting an abundance of options, whereas guys are not going to get that same level. So, and the other thing, too, with women is women are just simply better at dealing with the opposite gender. Men need to learn this stuff. Guys don't kind of.
Now, this kind of goes back to one of my points because Myron, 3 or 4. Now, I would say she's not a 3 or 4. She's better than a 3 or 4, but I'm not a man. How the heck would I know what he's looking for? Now, I could see how her attitude, her tone, her disposition, and all that can drop her all the way down from an 8 to a -0. I could see that. I could see that. But that boy said you a 3 or 4.
come out understanding female nature. They have to learn this stuff either through someone teaching them
I
or
don't
through
think I took a
losses.
crash course on how men work.
I'm sorry?
I didn't take a crash course on how men work. Why do men need to take a crash course on women?
Because men, here's the thing. Men have to build up the attraction and approach the women. They're the ones that got to make things happen. Women don't. You guys are in a privileged position where the men just come to you.
So you guys are stupid, basically.
I mean, if that's the conclusion you're going to come to, I guess.
That was
You know what? Bruh. She hella weird. So, yeah, what y'all think? So, that's the question. Do women deserve less? Or do men deserve more? Vice versa. What do you think? I still, I guess, because the questions, I mean, I get what he's saying. Actually, I take that back. Not all the way, but yes, I get it. But the question they were asking and the people he were debating, they just didn't ask the right questions. But I get the context of what he's saying. Like when he say men have more to lose. If you look at it in the divorce rates and everything, when the women leave, it of course lean more favor towards the woman. The men could lose their homes, they could lose their business, depending on if a woman make false accusations. They lose jobs and livelihoods just off accusations that possibly may not even be true. The child support system is all screwed up. So that's a thing. You got alimony, which both parties get paid, but let's just be real. Most of the time, the man paying alimony. So yeah, he do got a lot to lose. So, but far as the less, I guess I didn't get what part of less, like less of what? It could be less of material stuff, less love, less like less what? Less what, Myron? But I mean, I get it. We just really trying to understand these men, okay? So we are going to go across the board. We're going to listen to the men. We're going to figure out what's going on because I'm telling you what I've been hearing on the grapevine. And the grapevine is that men are done. And specifically, black men are literally sick and tired of you black women that have adopted that feminist mindset. And they are almost done. So if you are serious, if you're serious and you really want companionship and love, you know, don't listen to these other people out here. Listen to the men, see what they want, understand. And sometimes if you listen to understand, see, the problem is a lot of y'all don't know God. And when you don't know God, you don't understand how, like, really know God, like not this surface, my relationship with God, but you have to really understand the book and know God and understand why the order, everything has an order. And God ain't in the confusion. And right now, this men versus women thing is in confusion. But the men are standing up. They playing a role, taking the leadership. Now, I don't know if they just standing up and taking leadership for y'all. I think they just focusing on these young boys and making sure they don't fall in the traps that the previous generations and our generation fell in with the feminist movement. But y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to leave a full link to this full because it's like an hour-long thing. He talked to multiple people. I'm going to leave a full video in the link. Thank you. I'm just another brown girl in America trying to figure this thing out. You have a good one. Oh, oh.